We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Hello, and welcome to Icons of the Wider World, here on the Nerd Eternal Network. I'll be your GM for the morning, Jason. And with me will be Mike, playing Serpentboy, Zach, playing Frost Giant,
Howdy, howdy.
and Taylor, playing Patience.
Howdy, howdy.
These are all new characters. We have not debuted any of these yet. And while I'm sure we covered it back in the issue 0 when we were creating characters, I'm going to let everybody go through and just give a little blurb, about kind of who your character is. Matt, let's go ahead and start with you.
Sure, I'm playing Serpentboy, a.k.a. Norman Gander, who is the son of the Midgard serpent of Norse mythology. He's basically an kind of an awkward, nerdy teen who, despite his monstrous heritage, really would rather be running a D&D game than getting into all kinds of crazy, super heroic, epic battles. And that's basically his deal.
Zach, tell us about Frost Giant.
Frost Giant is the distant descendant of a frost giantess, and a very brave man. Marnut is just your... Indeed. Marnut is a bit of a hard drinker, hard-fighting, herb gardening force in nature, and has mostly fallen into superheroics after the whole mind control and attempted conquest of the United States by a weird dude with a weirdly apt name incident, because if someone is going to take over the world, they better at least be able to beat him in a fist fight, goddammit.
And Taylor, who is Patience?
Patience Purdue is a small child whose powers mostly manifested after attempting to escape a horrible life situation. Kidnap, child smuggling ring, all that. As she lost her vision, she gained another type of sight to see the souls and more or less desires of a soul. Kind of coloration based upon what they want.
Okay.
The more, clean and crisp, the less taken by their desires they are. So she more or less just asked the least nasty person to help her out. And then as he started to change, she goes to the next person that's nice and clean and crisp and asks for help.
So she basically just kind of wanders around on her own?
As much as she can for, a literal child.
Okay.
Sporting giant aviator shades to hide her eyes. And that's about it. She ain't got an official costume yet.
Is she trying to hide the fact that she's blind? Or just that her eyes don't look right?
There's a good bit of scarification, so she just wears big shades.
Okay.
Because people tend to change colors when they see it. She doesn't like the color of pity.
Nobody likes pity. Alright. So we start off in whatever city... let's see, what city would y'all be living in? Yeah, it's kind of irrelevant at the moment.
The city.
The city. Like in the tick.
Yep.
How about I sign to my city? The city. So it's fairly early in the morning. Serpentboy and Frost Giant, you have basically spent the night with Serpentboy's cousin. However many times removed, because it's really just a shared origin that has made them family for practical purposes. Because if I recall, Zach, what was the cousin's name again?
Ebba Person. Or Pearson. I have no idea how to pronounce that accurately.
Probably Pearson.
Yeah.
She is part of a heavy metal band. Swedish heavy metal band, I believe.
Yes.
And basically, since she was having a concert in town, the two of you got invited. After the concert, back in the hotel suite, Serpent Boy got recruited to run D&D game, which went long into the night, but eventually fell apart as the band and Frost Giant, were drinking more and more, and the game became more and more disorganized, and ended with the players all passed out and around this suite, and Serpent Boy sitting there as the frustrated GM, wasn't able to complete his story.
I spent weeks on that adventure.
It is not the first time this has happened. But it's the next morning now. Everyone's woken up, had breakfast, nursing hangovers, other than Serpent Boy. And you're now walking home.
So why exactly couldn't I seduce the statue? I mean, I had a good enough charisma, right?
It was a statue. It wasn't even animated.
Are you sure? I could have sworn you said it was a living statue.
No, it was a... I'm trying to think of what else I could have said, but I can't think. Nothing's coming to mind.
Serpent Boy just sort of huffs indignantly and keeps walking.
I'm more of a gumshoe kind of guy anyway.
Was this a school day?
No, the concert would have been a Friday night.
Okay.
So this is like that next Saturday morning. Patience. You are walking the streets of this city. You are currently between guardians.
Fairly typical situation. Got this under control.
Yeah, you're not freaking out about it or nothing. You're walking along. Let's see. You see souls. What exactly does that tell you about them?
You'd more or less just be kind of intent. Like if one just wants a fight, or if something is very greedy. It's very kind of a vague.
It's sort of a super vague empathy. You just get a slight impression of them.
If someone's really, loving, I'd know. If someone's really hateful, I'd kind of know. It's kind of just whatever their soul projects themselves as.
So you're walking along, and you pass a couple of people. I mean, you pass several people, but and the first thing you hear them talking about is, why couldn't I seduce the statue?
That's always a slightly odd thing to hear.
Mm-hmm. Does she react to that? Or she's just like, no, none of my business.
I'm gonna tune in, see what's going on. Because I'm going to assume, looking at the colors, that they're, two people talking.
Yeah. And there's more than that on the street, but these two are clearly walking together.
Can you detect like superpowers with your ability? Does that show up in people's souls?
No, but I could detect kind of a vague side. Like if you're a giant, I would physically tell that you are a giant, but that would be about it. Because while size isn't exactly 100% accurate, it's generally right.
It's like you've got kind of a vague outline of who they are, of their actual physical presence. Yeah. What power is that exactly?
I'm currently using a form of detection.
Detection. All right, I just want to look it up.
A good bit of this is free form.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of describing it to you, but but it's also like a
So neither one of these guys flag you as dangerous particularly. They don't really have any major negative emotion. You know, it's not like their constant state of some negative emotion.
it's not like they're constantly trying to find a way to make money or constantly trying to find a way to murder people.
Yeah, nothing like that really crops up. You figure the big guy. Let's see how old is Patience again?
About 6 or 7.
Oh, okay, she's real little.
She's not entirely sure which.
Yeah, the big guy strikes you as you get this sense that he is probably kind of loud, or a 6-year-old probably just thinking of him as loud, kind of boisterous, but what 6-year-old knows that word? Where his friend or whatever is physically smaller, seems a little more withdrawn, timid, maybe slightly timid.
Oh, I have one more question. Does Frost Giant, like when he's not gianted out, does he still appear out of this world?
Oh yeah, he is a very large man, bright blue skin, white eyes.
Okay, it's worth noting then that Serpent Boy does have scaly skin.
Okay.
Like literal, basically a literal Serpent Boy.
Does he have snake eyes or human eyes?
Oh, snake eyes with glasses.
Patience would pick up on none of that, of course.
Nope.
Oh right.
I just know you ain't evil. And frankly, that's all I care about. Because if you ain't evil, you're a meal. You're there.
Yeah, potential meal ticket. So y'all are all walking down the street. You two are just chatting about the game, the concert, this, that, the other. Patience is just a few paces behind him with her cane. Tap, 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 tap. Just close enough that she can hear the conversation, and she's trying to figure out who and what these people are. One thing Patience does notice is other people on the street have a spike of fear as they walk past these two. Not absolutely everybody. Particularly,
but it's like
distracted people talking on their cell phone may just hustle past,
but everyone kind of seems more prepared to run or fight.
Yeah, there is a leeriness to them. Yeah, it's like the fight or flight instinct is right there balanced on the edge of which one they want to do. But no violence actually breaks out or anything.
Which is strange to me because I've seen things like this, but that means there's something physically with them, but they're not bad people.
You trust your senses over the opinions of random people.
Right.
Are we used to provoking that kind of reaction from the locals?
Oh yeah, people assume you're a mutant.
Gotcha.
Because whether or not magic is clearly out there, but whether or not your average person believes it's real is very up in the air. It varies a lot from person to person. They would be, your average citizen would be a lot quicker to look at the two of you and go, "Oh, mutants." Than they would to sit there and go, "Oh, some kind of magical mofos."
Right.
But as you're walking down the street, let's see, where did I put them? There they are. 3 police cars go just racing by, just right through the intersection, lights blaring. Clearly bad stuff is afoot somewhere.
Does this look like something we should be following? Should we be looking into it? Does this...
Frostbite looks into his little paper cup of coffee, shakes a little bit, downs the last bit. Okay, yeah. Let's go kick some ass. If ass kicking is necessary, we must always show restraint and good judgment.
I know.
And as he's saying this, he's reading it off his phone as these little pre-prepared notes he has.
He has one file on his little note app. You know,
he downloaded like
wise words. All right.
maybe have like some rudimentary child psychology or child rearing advice book on your.
Well, Dr. Spock says, and I used to watch Star Trek. I know how bright he is.
Live long and prosper.
Alright, so y'all start hustling down the street after the police cars. You get a block or so. Is Patience going to try to keep up with him when she hears this conversation?
She's going to keep going in the direction, but keep a safe distance.
Okay.
And obviously,
But your detection goes way out there, right?
Yeah, I have a very strong detection. I'll be able to keep sight of them.
Okay.
But pacing is going to be an issue for me.
Because the 6-year-old trying to keep with 2 grown folks running.
Yeah. And also, I still have to know where the street starts and the sidewalk ends.
But if you could pay attention, you'd probably notice the spirits you see running forward and then dipping slightly when they step off a curb or something. Enough to give you a vague idea of where the edge is coming.
Actually, one thing I just thought of I'd like to do. Could I stretch up to try to get a higher viewpoint to see if there's anything visibly amiss in the general direction of where the police are heading?
Okay. So do you just elongate your neck, or does your entire body stretch?
I'll do my full upper torso.
Okay. So basically, it's like your stomach starts extending and kind of.
Yeah, and it's I've got stretching at 6. So, I mean, assuming we just follow the benchmark table for distance, you can stretch pretty darn far, which I guess is appropriate for the son of Jormungandr.
Yeah.
It's not quite circle the world, but it's good for a couple blocks. No, actually, a couple miles.
Yeah. So yeah, you jump. Pardon the term, but you basically snake your way up. To about the rooftop of the buildings around you, and they're all 4 or 5 story. There's a lot of apartment building stuff through here, or a little tenement building. Patience. From behind him, you see kind of the outline of his soul distort and stretch out.
Explains a lot of why people were scared of him. But, I'm no stranger to powers, so I'm okay. Oh, it's so weird looking. Souls aren't supposed to be that big.
So what you see is, a block or so ahead of you, you see where those 3 police cars have stopped. The police have piled out. And have begun shooting. You don't hear them say anything, or, well, you're far enough away, you probably wouldn't hear them anyway. You can kind of hear some people screaming. There's people running down the sidewalk in your direction. You see the police all kind of taking cover behind their cars. Their pistols are out. They're beginning to fire. Let me throw a couple of policemen down. And as they start firing, you see something. It's like it pounces from the edge of the building and lands on one of the officers.
Like a beast.
Yeah, it's something. You're not at this distance. You're not entirely certain what it is.
I'll
it sort of jumps out of that building, jump from around the corner of the building, and it hits the officer, and they both kind of fall back, and there's a police car basically. They kind of get knocked over, or he kind of knocks the officer over, and the police car is obstructing your view to some degree.
Okay, I'll shout down to Frost Giant that what's Frost Giant's name again? Is it
Marnut.
Marnut. Okay. I'll shout down that there's some kind of beast attacking. There's some kind of beast on the loose. I'll shout that out. And is there any way I could? Stretch further to I don't know, try to strike the beast or at least to try to pull it off the police officer.
Okay. Let's see. What is your strength? Oh, your strength is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not outright superhuman, but
no, not bad. Certainly, well, it's super teen.
Yeah, for a lanky-looking teenager, that's
yeah.
It's enough. Most people would look at you, picking up a motorcycle or something like, it shouldn't really be happening. All right, so you have no problem stretching that far.
And my stretching's at the same level of my strength, so I won't because the stretching power could limit any other ability.
Yeah, how much of your
distance.
strength you could use.
Yeah.
All right, let me. Let me just find you a token right quick. Yeah, there's a guy that's not in any masks or anything. We can use him. Alright, so Serpentboy. Alright, so there you are on the map. And you are basically stretching all the way down there. Boy, that doesn't look right at all.
Oh.
Again, is it mostly your torso kind of launching out?
This time it'll probably just be an arm.
Now I'm picturing it like one of the claw games where you're looking from the distance and kind of going. All right, give me a. Are you trying to snatch the officer out from under the thing or pull the thing off of him?
I'm trying to pull the beast off of the officer.
Okay. So that will be a prowess roll.
Okay. I generated a 9.
All right. And its prowess. Say 4. So yes, you managed, you managed to pull it off the officer, like it wasn't really latched on good. And when you pull it into view, you realize you are holding something that looks like it stepped off the set of Jurassic Park.
Oh. Like a raptor type thing?
Yes, that is exactly what it looks like.
Okay.
Like a Utah raptor?
No, it looks like one of the ones from Jurassic Park. Other than it has some feathers on its arm,
Oh, this is the. Oh, that's an actual. Oh, that's an actual dinosaur. I thought that was a sports team.
They named the sports team after this large breeder raptor they found in Utah. But let's go ahead and get an initiative order. Even though it may take a round or two for some of you to get there.
That goes off coordination, right?
Yes, let me, let's see. Remove all turns.
Got me a 6.
That's fine. I think.
Let's get everybody on camera. Alright, so Serpentboy.
This.
Beg pardon?
Politely ignore the fact you rolled a d20.
Who rolled a d20?
Right above my roll.
How did I roll a d20 and Mike still beat me? This is not a good start. This is not us getting off to a good start.
Amazing for today. It bodes amazing.
Cheaters never win, Jason.
First rule of Hackmaster: the GM is always right. Alright, I've got to add its coordination, so its coordination is also a 4, so that is actually an 8, 7 that he rolled. Alright. And then 1 for the police. Man, everybody's actions are just packed in real close to each other. So everybody is going on a 6 or a 7.
Yay.
Everybody that you currently see. Alright, so the top of the order would be the Raptor. And it is not happy to have these stretchy things grabbing it. So it is going to attempt to chomp down your arm. So that will be prowess versus prowess. Alright, and its bite does 4 points of damage.
Ow! That really hurt. He probably would instinctively snap his limb away.
So that stretched out arm snaps back to you.
I'm bleeding.
Frost Giant, you're up.
Oh, you hurt my boy. You hurt my boy. It's about to be a bad day for you. And he just books it towards the scene.
All right. If you take your full round to move, you can get to the edge of the sidewalk here.
That's what he's gonna do.
Now, let's see. Frost Giant has the growth power, right?
Yes, sir.
And if he hasn't turned on at all, it's only at max, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he's normal sized, or he's, well, relatively normal sized.
Yeah. Or he's bigger than a house.
Gotcha. Alright, so you run down there. It's the police go. Let's see. So, one of them runs over and helps his injured buddy up. And they both basically get in the car. The other two take a couple of shots. Let's see where they roll on. Yeah, the coordination's not bad. And the Raptor. Alright, so they got a 6 and an 8. The Raptor got a 10 and a 7. So, one shot hits the dinosaur. And, you see it flinch. Frost Giant, you're closer. You see some blood splatter out. But it is still standing. Still like it's got plenty of fight in it. Alright, Patience. You were trailing behind. You're basically... You look up here towards the top of the map. You're basically at the edge of that crosswalk.
Yep.
Maybe I should put you not quite on the street, though. So, you see this going on. You're not on cam, I was doing air quotations. So yeah, this distance, you can make out the police up there. You see their fear. You see what is clearly an animal. I'm assuming you can tell the difference between people and animals. Though it doesn't seem like anything you're familiar with. You don't think you've seen this kind of animal before. It's got, you can kind of make out what's probably the tail. It's more or less person-sized.
But right now, that's not my ticket to friendship. Right now, my ticket to friendship is the man that yelled, ouch.
Awesome.
So, a quick scan on the street. Do I see any bodies moving very, very fast on the street? Or on the road?
Not right at this section. There is, right here, there's a man in a seating position up above the ground that you have clearly learned to recognize. Okay, that's a guy sitting in a car.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is on the street, do I see any cars moving?
No. That one dude is parked there.
Well, then I will tap the car, make sure he knows I'm there, and then walk across.
With your abilities, you see what you assume is his arm come up, and then he just kind of hangs his head.
Because he kind of realizes what's
You know, he raises his head like you do if somebody signals you. Oh yeah, I got you, and then realizes you couldn't, or assumes you couldn't see that.
So I'm gonna scoot across the road up to this boyo here. Tap him gently. Excuse me, sir. To
Serpentboy, you look down, you see a little girl standing next to you.
Oh, hey, hey, you okay? You all right? Do you know where your parents? Hello, where are your parents?
I think there's bigger things to worry about right now, and you look like you could use some help. Patience gently taps him and heals him of his wound.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be a heal for 5 points.
Oh, hey, I feel good as good as new here. Clearly you've got powers, but the question remains: where are your parents?
We'll get to that later. Right now, you need to assist the large man, and I can help you from here.
Okay.
My turn.
Okay. Yeah, I'm weirded out, but you did just heal me, so given in the heat of the moment, I'll just assume that I'll just follow your advice as soon as I get the chance.
And then it's your turn.
Okay. Right. Just stay here. Okay. And I'm just kind of like because I'm not sure what's going on, but I guess he should follow. Yeah, I guess he'll follow. Follow Marnut and see. He's gonna wait and see. I think he might hold his action till because he doesn't want to he thought about he might want to entangle the raptor, but if Marnuk's gonna start wailing into him, I don't think I want to be wrapped around that. But maybe I don't know. Maybe I could just run to at least try to interpose myself between the raptor and that one other cop that's behind the car.
Okay.
Or was that one of the shooting cops?
Yes, these two down here, I got to stack on top of each other that are on top of the car. They are actually in their vehicle. One of them was the injured one.
Okay.
So they are in the car, and when you get close enough, you'll see the uninjured one is basically doing a first aid, but from the relative safety of the car.
Maybe I can. Maybe I could try to grapple the legs of the raptor, hoping that before the raptor gets a chance to bite at me, that frost giant would be able to keep distracted. So maybe that's what he'll do.
Okay, that will be prowess, or let's see. I mean, it'll be
Oh,
prowess.
wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling if he's got that skill.
Yeah, I do not. So.
Oh, that's pretty good though.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got a solid success. So you are basically putting him in a hold. That should be one level of success. I believe that will be a partial. Let me see, where's the... Stunning, slamming... Well, if I can find where the... I've lost where the... Where's actions? Oh, there we are. Moderate success. Partial hold. Target can perform actions, but at a +2 difficulty and can't move away from you.
Cool.
So he could run. He could run towards you, but he couldn't. Basically, he couldn't make you stretch any further, or necessarily pull you along with him. But that would, let's see, that will keep him from advancing towards the police officers. Like I said, he may charge you. He might be able to double back enough to attack Frost Giant. And then it is the Dino's turn. Let's see, he's thrashing about. Let's see, what would his little dino brain think was the biggest threat? Probably the big blue guy running up on him. He has no intelligence score. So yeah, he manages to kind of stumble. It's awkward because he's a little tangled up. But Frost Giant, he moves towards you and attempts to bite you. Let's see, and he is at a -2 currently. So you need to beat a 7 with your prowess.
I match it exactly.
Okay. So you feel his teeth kind of scrape along your arm as you yank your arm back, and there's let's see, do you have damage resistance?
Not in my base state.
Okay. So there's it drew blood, but not enough to really count as a point of damage or anything. You yank your arm back fast enough that it's basically just scratches. Let me make sure he does not get pretty sure he doesn't get double attacks. No. And then it's your go.
Ah, you're a hungry boy, ain't ya? Oh, don't worry, I'll give you all you need to eat. And I'm gonna try and wrestle a thing to the ground.
Alright, give me a prowess roll. That is a tie. So yeah, the two of you are kind of wrestling around. You can't get a good hold on it. It can't get away from you. You've got your shoulder tucked right up under its chin, so it's having a hard time trying to even bite you.
Frost Giant is laughing this entire time because he's wrestling a dinosaur. This morning is way more interesting than he expected it to be.
The arms are still kind of scratching at you, but with Serpentboy is tangled around his legs, he can't really rear back and use those big hook claws. Let's see, police officers. One of them holds his fire and is kind of sitting there. It's like he's waiting. If he gets a clear shot, he'll take it. But the other one is a little more panicked looking. And yeah, he just unloads on the trying to hit the dinosaur. But we'll see how that goes. It doesn't go well. You hear a window. You hear one of the bullets hit a window behind you. And the officer that held his fire starts screaming at his buddy to, to watch it. Patience, you're up. Excuse me.
Take a few steps forward. About to hear. And you said one of the police was hurt?
Beg pardon?
You said
Yes, one of the police officers is hurt sitting inside the vehicle.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and just pop him with a heal.
So he was kind of like Serpentboy. He'd taken probably 4 points, which would have left him in probably rougher shape than Serpent. Yeah, he was significantly injured. And yeah, the guy that was working on him in the car suddenly just kind of backs up. And the injured one, it starts like, patting himself. Like, what the? And you moved a little bit closer?
Yeah, just a little bit. I'll turn back to Serpentboy. I do believe if you and your friend can handle this, there'll be no casualties today. And I do a little fist pump to myself because I said the word casualties right.
That's the general idea.
And then it's Serpentboy.
All right, so I think what
you see this little blind girl creep ahead,
yeah.
and then turn around and say that to you. You don't see her do anything else.
Right, I probably don't. Probably too distracted to actually see the cop healing. I think what Serpentboy wants to do is to actually maybe stretch his legs up to see if he could like kind of pull up the raptor so that it's out of striking range of, or to move it further from the cops, and also to still be able to be wrestled with by Frost Giant if he assumes his giant form. Just to like kind of lift off the ground and make sure it can't like escape us and lunge at any of the others.
Give me another prowess roll.
Okay. Ooh.
No, you managed to keep your grip on it, so you've still got that partial hold. But yeah, you're not able to get him off the ground as he's thrashing about, and the extra weight of Frost Giant, latched onto him.
Right.
Alright, the raptor is going to spend his turn trying to escape. So that will be... Let's see... Let's see, does he get that penalty on escaping, or is that the one thing he can do without the penalty? Escaping. Alright, so he will be rolling his strength to escape. And this is tested against the attacker's strength.
Strength. Okay.
So yeah, this is a strength on strength. So you got a, let's see, everybody got a 10. So that is a marginal success. So no effect, he is still held. Frost Giant, you're up.
I'm still gonna try and wrestle him to the ground.
Okay.
And I am tapping his Tangled aspect from Serpentboy.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, I guess he would have that. So that will burn one of your determination points.
Yes, sir. Nice.
This is his prowess. So yes, you get him in a complete hole where he just can't move. You've wrapped his legs in one arm. You got his head pinned down. With the other elbow.
That's it, Snappy Joe. That's it. Calm down. I got you. He ain't going nowhere.
Next up is the police. The police that held his fire. Runs up. And he's kind of like, will regular restraints work on this thing?
I mean, I don't know. You have any zip ties?
Yeah. He runs back to his car and he comes out with some of the zip ties, and y'all start trying to secure this thing. And from wrestling with it, it's strong, but it's not inhumanly strong.
It's about as strong as an animal of its size would be.
Mm-hmm. So you're thinking, zip ties, handcuffs, if they were big enough around, would probably work. Zip ties. You just kind of got to experiment to find out which way the limbs will bend where you can tie them up.
I don't think he's a bad dinosaur. I think he's just a little lost and hungry, that's all. Get a good steak in him, he should be fine.
The officer that was a little more panicked, while y'all are zip tying, he comes around with a gun. Should I go ahead and shoot it? Should I go ahead and shoot it?
You pull that trigger, that's going down your throat.
The first one that approached you, he gestures to you like, "Whoa, calm down, Bill. Just go check the building, make sure nobody was hurt by that, by that miss." Yeah. Oh yeah. And you see his buddy calming down some. As basically his attention is redirected, like, "Oh yeah, I did, there was that shot. I better make sure, And he hustles over to the building.
See, stuff like that's why I don't like guns. Too easy to make a mistake you can't take back.
Dude's like, not all of us can wrestle a dinosaur down, though. He kind of reaches out and touches it, at the back of the head, and kind of flinches back when it twists. Is it real?
I mean, it's tangible. I mean, is that real enough for you?
Well, I mean, that's not a robot. Well, it's bleeding. I don't guess it would be a robot.
Are any of us really real?
He kind of looks at you. Well, I don't know. I'm talking to a 7-foot Smurf. I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe this is all just, one bad drug trip. Maybe I made a drug bust and fell into the product. I don't know.
Yeah, I miss the 70s too.
The two officers in the car get out. You see where the injured guy. You see where his vest and everything is clawed open, and there's blood on the vest, but you don't see any wound up under. In the looking in the tear, you don't see any wound though, and he's moving just fine.
So it's basically just a flesh wound, really.
All you see is smooth skin under there. I mean, you
Oh.
don't even see scratch. You don't even see as many scratches as you have on your arm.
Hmm. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. You okay?
He's like, yeah. I was cut pretty bad, and then it was just gone. Holy crap! Am I a superhero?
I don't know. You want me to break your arm and see if that heals up? I can.
You hear a shout from the distance. Please don't do that. I get tired if I have to do this too much.
Yeah, you look up and saying that you see a little blind girl moving towards you. Big mirrored sunglasses on, cane in her hand.
I'm sorry, is Frost Giant hurt?
He has some
Just a few scratches on
his
his arm.
No actual hit point damage or anything, or
Oh,
stamina damage. No. What is Serpent Boy doing this?
I think he's just at this point standby. He's just making maybe reorganizing his books that probably got scuffed up. Maybe his Monster Manual fell out of the backpack or something. But once he's gathered himself in that way, he probably wanted to presume or resume, I should say, the his conversation with Patience. So, do you where are your parents? So again, back to your parents. Well, first of all, he'll introduce himself. He'll say, my name is Norman, and what's your name? He asks Patience.
hello. I'm Patience.
Okay, Patience. Do you know where your where?
I think you dropped off for just a second there, Mike.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh. He basically just asked where Patience's parents are.
Let's see. Patience will leave. Can I show you something real quick?
Sure.
Boom, telepathy.
Oh. Nice of you to ask ahead of time. Images of what? I'm sorry?
Of a house being... You see images and memories of a house being broken into.
Oh, okay. Do I see the full episode, or do I just see enough to give the hint that your parents are most likely no longer here?
Yeah, you know I got kidnapped and something bad happened to the house.
Oh, okay. But I don't know what happened. I haven't necessarily seen that the parents have been are dead.
Yeah, there's no direct footage of that. It's more of just brief snippets before getting knocked unconscious.
Okay. Does she communicate whether she's tried to get back home, or is she on the run?
Escape was kind of paramount.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that I couldn't attempt to go back home. I just have no idea where it is or where I am at any point, really.
Oh,
Because it's a 6-year-old. Makes sense.
Yeah, I got kidnapped
I got you.
before I could really memorize, my phone number, let alone the address and street.
Well, hey, maybe we could help you find your way home. Is Marnute still tied up with the raptor and the cops? Is he basically just like keeping the raptor held until
They're just about to the point of having the thing hogtied.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he is just at this exact second. Yeah, he's still occupied.
Okay. He'll probably just or even yeah. Do you want to? I'm sure that we can help, and so can the police. I'm sure. Do you want to talk to the police?
That has not gone well the last couple of times.
Oh, what happened?
They tend to get weird.
Weird. Like,
They turn. Oh well, you wouldn't. They turn bad.
every time?
Every time.
Oh, what's her?
And also in the orphanages, they turn bad.
Oh, well, yeah, I've heard that about orphanages. And then, Serpentboy feels a little shudder thinking about what could have happened to him, if he hadn't been sent to the custody of good old Uncle Marnuk, Uncle Newt. Well, maybe my uncle and I can help you there if you don't want to go to the police. And we won't turn bad. I mean, Uncle Newt's like, well, how old is Marnuk?
Oh, he's in like his 40s.
Okay,
So he's
you're not from
old.
Yeah.
That's right. We're all descendants. We're not actually from mythic times.
Yeah, he might live a little bit longer than the average bear, but not that much longer.
Okay. I was gonna say, Martin said centuries to turn bad, and he hasn't done it yet, but that's not the case.
I'll be glad to take your help until I see you start to change colors.
Change colors. I'm not a. Oh, yeah. I don't really actually have any chameleon in my background. Funny story. Yeah, my mom's not a chameleon. Is that what you meant?
Can I show you a thing?
Okay, he braces himself and says, "Okay."
Yeah, she pops a quick image of, it's pure black, but you can kind of see the colored outlines of people.
Ooh. Oh, it's
Briefly.
like okay. So this is how you perceive the world then? This is how you see people? Is this some kind of like aura thing? You probably know enough about like magic stuff to.
The church says it's people's souls.
Ah, I see.
Church people were less colorful the longest.
Okay, and you said that people always go bad eventually?
One of the colors always ends up growing too much. Then I'll leave, and it'll calm down.
Oh, you mean like it's your presence that does it to people? Is that what you're saying?
I think it is.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm sure you're not. I'm sure you're not doing that on purpose, of course. So, I grew up as you saw. I grew up with powers too. I mean, way different powers than what you've got. But sometimes it's hard for me to control my powers too. I mean, I remember I once got squeamish. I once got stressed out during wrestling lessons in school, and I ended up accidentally belching up some knockout venom, and I put my. I mean, the good news is we all got out of the gym early, and I didn't have to wrestle. But anyway, it's the point being that we don't always have control for our powers. It's not because we're doing something wrong and stuff. It's not because we're bad. It's just sometimes things we do, it takes a while to learn. And maybe that's what you need. Maybe you just need to learn how to do what you do. And maybe then you want to, that people will stop, changing color around you. I guess that's how you put it. I mean, I'm just spitballing here. I'm not a neuro meta humanist or whatever they call like people who study superpowers.
You're a teenager, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in 10th grade. Yeah, I'm in high school.
This explains. Okay.
Oh,
Talk a
does
lot.
Patience say that?
Yeah, Patience just goes, okay. You talk a lot.
I'm getting now Serpentboy's starting to get the sense that she's perhaps older than her years. Which I guess if you can peer into people's souls, I can see how that might have that kind of effect on you. How's Frost Giant with the on the Raptor cleanup?
Yeah, the Raptor is secured. Frost Giant, the police officer, Officer Daniels, he's thanking you for your help, telling you that they've got animal control on the way. He's not sure that the animal control is necessarily equipped for this, but he goes, I guess a cage that would hold a bear would hold one of these.
I could just take it home if they don't have any facilities for it.
What?
I said we could just take it home. We have space for it.
I'm not cleaning up after that thing. He's gonna make me clean up after that thing.
We'll paper train it. And like a butcher shop is just right down the road. How expensive can this be to feed, really?
There goes my college fund.
College fund? I mean, yes, I have secured a stable source of income to ensure that you have all your educational needs for the future met.
He says, looking at his
phone back into pocket.
Of course, the real question there is, if you clean up after a raptor, raptors are dinosaurs, birds are dinosaurs, so would raptor poop be like big bird poop?
Technically, I'm kind of a dinosaur too. My mother was the Midgard serpent.
You're a snake. That's not a dinosaur.
Well, when they get to that size.
So anyway, you wrap up with the dinosaur. You see your youthful ward over there talking to this little 5 or 6 year old. You pay attention just in time to catch her going, "You're a teenager, aren't you?"
Yeah, brush on a little step over here. So, miss, you have healing powers, huh? It's a useful little trick.
Yeah, she used it on me too.
Ah.
So Uncle, we've got kind of a situation here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to? As Patience, do you want to give my uncle here the? Oh, this is Marnuk, by the way.
Pleasure to meet you, Marnuk. Yes.
Do you want to tell Marnuk what you told me?
He's a teenager.
Extremely so.
Oh, did you mean the pictures?
Yeah.
Yes. Because the only thing I said was, "You're a teenager, aren't you?" Sorry. She walks up to him. "Can I show you something?"
I suppose it won't hurt.
Telepathy.
It hurts my brain.
You see both, the home invasion, and the outlined world in which I see.
Spineless, gutless cowards taking a child from her home in the night. He gently places one of his big old paws on Patience's shoulder. I'm sorry that you've had such a rough start in life, dear. If you need any place to stay, I could pull out a cot for you.
I will appreciate that until your red gets too red.
Oh, don't worry. I think you'll find I'm made of a little bit sterner stuff than a regular person.
No, I think you. So her powers kind of affect people.
Are you pulling her to the side to say this? Or are you just saying it in front of me?
Well, I mean, I don't. I'm not really saying anything I haven't already told you. You know, when I was spitballing during my theorizing. Yeah, I think it's. Okay, so it's like this when I try to break it down into like playing speak, where she has powers, but this is gonna get really meta. But I think she's got the uncontrollable drawback. if you catch my drift, where
You're sitting there flipping through your game book. She's got this.
Yeah.
Like the real world version of this.
Right. Where I guess the longer people are in her presence, the more their emotions get out of control, and then that's why she's been moving from place to place.
That's a bit of a pickle.
And she also doesn't know how to get home. We don't even. She doesn't even know what actually happened to her parents, or if there's.
I know
we
the
should call
house
those.
isn't there anymore.
I'm sorry.
I know the house isn't there anymore.
Oh, was there like an explosion? Is that what I saw?
There was fire.
Ah, I see.
So as y'all are discussing this, Officer Daniel kind of, he had been on his radio, and he suddenly runs up. We've got some more of these things downtown. I hate to ask, but you handled this one so easily. Do you think you could lend us a hand?
For a man who was 7.5 feet tall, Frost Giant just made the highest pitched little squeal that you have ever heard in your life.
Ooh, more dinosaurs.
Yes! Yes, I think I can handle this.
And he hurries you to his car. It's a tight fit for you getting in there. You manage to scrunch up. He puts you in the front seat. He puts Patience and Serpentboy in the back. And off you race downtown.
Gonna wrestle some dinosaurs. Do. Oh, is there a T-Rex? Please tell me you've seen a T-Rex.
I've only seen the one we were fighting. Oh, hang on, that's not the right map. That's probably the right map. So he pulls up. And doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Throw it under police car down. Once I get over to the right map. Alright. So you arrive basically at the edge of the map. Officer Daniel tells you, he'll keep an eye on the little one. He hops out long enough to open the back door to let Serpentboy out. And if Patient wants to climb out and jump in the front seat, that'll be all right.
Patience will, because the front seat can be opened from the inside.
Right. So what greets you? You see a police car here that seems to be abandoned. There's one over here that has been the engine area seems to be on fire, and like the the roof and stuff has been like crushed down, and it's kind of bowed in the middle. You sincerely hope no one was in the car when whatever happened. You see 2 more of the Jurassic Park rejects over here. And then over here, there's 2 of them about the same size. You know, I say that and then I realize I don't actually know how big those things were. Let me double check. Oh, no, wait, those are the... Alright, let's see. Okay. The things up here are actually slightly larger. But they stand about human height. But they have a much longer tail. They're just kind of a longer build overall. But standing upright, they'd only be, standing upright, they'd be about frost giant size, bulkier overall, but and they do not seem to have they don't have the wicked claws that the other one has. This is clearly a different kind of critter. Have kind of a domed head. We will throw your minis down. Oh yes, I forgot the most. Strangely, despite dinosaurs been around, the most attention-catching thing is this man standing in the center of the center of the walk. He's got big goggles up on his forehead. His hair is kind of all over the place. He's in a lab coat. And he is screaming about the failures of the scientific community. Here he is in the future. It's almost 2020. Where are the flying cars? Where are the jetpacks? He came here to get jetpacks. Do any of you have any knowledge skills or history skills or anything related like that?
Not I, said the frost giant.
Not me neither, says the high school sophomore.
Okay. You can all give me straight intelligence checks.
What? You're not going to ask the child that's never been to school?
No. No. And let's see, we'll make this the difficulty. Alright, none of you have a clue who this guy is. But he is ranting and raving like a madman.
Sir! Sir! Are you high and or a time traveler? Or both?
A time traveler? I am the premier time traveler. I am Professor Paradox. Have you not heard of me? Why are you blue?
Well, way back when my great-great-great-great-great-granddad banged my great-great-great-great-grandma who was a frost giant, so I'm blue.
Magic.
Also, no, I've never heard of you. At all.
Patience came out really, really small, which I guess works. I think I've got the grid turned off on this map, so things are just kind of going down randomly.
Here's that.
Let's see. Let's see. All right, he already told you his name. You've never heard of me? The greatest mind the 1970s ever produced?
Well, I was 5, so probably not.
He's just kind of like... Well, clearly I have not taken over the world by now. This is disappointing.
Oh, you're a supervillain!
What?
Oh, wait! Are these dinosaurs yours?
Yes, I have traveled back through deep history to retrieve the fiercest creatures imaginable.
Well, I mean, you didn't bring his mom, and he gestures towards Serpent Boy, so you kind of failed that.
Who? What? Why would I care about the child? Why would I care about the child's mother? Did she have the same skin condition?
She killed Thor.
Oh, more magic. Do you know what the presence of creatures like yourself do to scientific... Never mind. Yeah. And he kind of snaps his fingers, and some of the creatures you have already seen kind of charge forward. Alright, go ahead and give initiative. And you can continue to talk to him while combat's going on, but he's just going to stand there and rant at you while the fighting goes on.
All right.
Alright, so we're going to give one of these guys a turn, and they'll both just... Each type of critter is just going to go... Oops. 'Cause I don't need that one after all. But anyway, as I said, each type of critter is just going to go on one initiative, so for simplicity's sake.
Does it look like the dinosaurs will get to us this turn? Like right away?
You're not entirely certain, because the, you know raptors are supposed to be fast. And you're really not sure about the bigger guys.
Okay.
You know, if the bigger guys are slower like you would expect them to be, they may not actually get to you.
Mm. Hey, Uncle, do you think I should try belching up on these guys? He would know about my knockout breath.
Probably won't hurt. Just be careful about the, I assume these are pterodactyls up here?
Are they winged?
They are circling. Something is up there circling in the air, yes.
Oh, I missed that.
Just be careful about those two up there. You don't want to actually hurt the poor things. They're just scared and confused.
No, I'm not full on poisonous yet.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens when puberty's finished. Oh, that actually, you know, that's more of a well, that's more of a like a junior high thing, but we'll worry about that later.
Getting those weird clusters again. All right. Serpent Boy goes on a 5 this time. Patience goes on a 4. So at least not everything's a 5 or a 6. Police officer, I'm just going to put last because he ain't going to do anything unless him or Patience are threatened. And let's see, did Zach roll? Is that 10 your initiative, Zach?
Yes, sir.
All right.
That came out weirdly aggressive.
What's that?
Yes, sir.
Coordination of 3. Okay. Put them in descending order. Alright, top of the order is Frost Giant.
Alright, Frost Giant is going to activate his embiggening power. And as he does this, he just rips apart this cheap $5 wife beater he's got on and just screams.
Yet somehow his
And he's
pants
got-
survive the transformation.
The shirt actually increases in size with him, so he's basically just throwing down this giant beer-smelling tarp on the ground when he's done.
Oh, the shirt doesn't rip as he transforms. He does the Hulk Hogan as he's getting bigger and tears it off.
Yep.
Child of the
And
70s.
And I'm gonna tap all eyes on me to pretty much aggro all the dinosaurs. Try and aggro all the dinosaurs so they focus on me as
Okay.
opposed to
Give me a
my
willpower roll.
squishier friends.
As this is basically a, charisma, social sort of thing. And they all have...
And that'll be a 10.
Okay. Chances are good that you've got everybody's attention. And how big does Frost Giant get?
He tops out at 25 feet. So pretty big.
Yeah, that's quite decent. Oops. From inside the car, you hear, "Holy crap!" To Patience, he's like, Patience, you're sitting next to the cop, and you see the outline of Frost Giant's spirit suddenly start expanding. You hear the cop, "Holy crap! Are you seeing what I'm seeing?" Oh, sorry. This has just been a very strange day for me.
It's okay. The Lord has placed many gifts in the day for many of us.
He's like, yeah, I guess, okay. If he'll just gift us all with getting out of this without getting eaten, I'll be happy.
Yes, that's what I'm here for.
Let's see here. So yeah, these two guys over here start charging forward. Let's see, they've got a few ranks of running, so they do actually make the distance. And if they're charging at you, they just duck their heads and are going for like a charging headbutt sort of thing. You sort of instinctively flinch because at your height, that's going to have them hitting about groin level.
Oh no.
Huh, that's weird. None of y'all's initiatives are showing up on the...
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was just maybe my interface, but I refreshed the page and nothing.
Yeah, I mean... I don't know what in the world could be causing that.
When you swap the boards, did you close out the turn order from the previous board?
No, I did not. I deleted something off of it. Yeah, that's probably what it was, because I deleted something off of it, but did not, And then when I gave everybody a turn... Yeah, because I have the old one pulled up on my... That's probably what it was. Someday I will learn how to use this interface, I promise. I'm probably lying, but you know, I'll try.
No one truly knows the dark mysteries of Roll20.
Yes, this
Some
is
think
probably
they
true.
do, but they do not.
All right, let's see if I close that one, and then I pop one up. Now it's the same one coming up. All right, give me one quick second while I jot down everybody's initiative so I can just delete it out and then re-put them in. All right, so we got Frost Giant at 10. Pachycephalosaurs at 8.
Deinonychus.
The Deinonychus at 8. Pterodactyls at 7. Serpentboy at 5. Patience at a 4. Officer Daniels at a 1. Alright. We will clear that. Alright, so we got a 10, 4, 5, 8, 7. Alright, has that got everybody visible now?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't have a token for Officer Daniels, but... Oh. But I can just make the police scar his token. Alright, there we go. Alright. And Frost Giant had gone. Then the Pachycephalosaurs... Well, it reordered on me. So the Pachycephalosaurs were attacking. The dome-headed critters. So that is... a prowess. So roll your prowess versus their attack.
I got a 7.
First one got a 5, so it missed. Roll for your second one. You manage to kind of dance out of the way. You're kind of, you know, catch him on the side of the head and kind of redirect. Then the two raptor-looking guys are running up. They are pact hunters, and one of them is going to use its action to distract you to give the other one a +2. Basically, they're assisting each other.
Alright.
Using it to, and using the plus to connect. One's acting as a distraction to make sure that the other one manages to land a blow.
And that's versus my willpower?
No, this would still be your prowess. They're running up to attack you.
Oh, okay.
They just get the one attack, and the other one is aiding. So yeah, one comes in kind of low and just kind of snapping at you, while the other one leaps. But you're not fooled, you know. You've seen the movies, you know they jump, you know they work together. You know they're clever girls.
I've babysat chihuahuas.
So you manage to sidestep out of the way. Wow, all the dinosaurs kind of go in a clump. So the two pterodactyls come swooping down. You hear Professor Paradox in the background. You may be able to handle the natural, the natural creatures from their day. But can you handle the ones that I have evolved? And as they swoop down, you see both of them have like two little miniguns mounted under the wings.
You just strapped guns onto them. You haven't evolved them. Dude,
I changed
you know what
them.
those words even mean?
Yes, evolve means to change, and I changed them. Cretin. And, both of them kind of spark up and fire at you. So this will be coordination.
Oh, no.
You beat the first one. The second one gets a good lick on you, though.
Well, +4 damage reduction in this state, so what's the damage?
Alright. So you got a 4 damage reduction. Their guns do 4 damage. Which makes... So you take 0 damage. However, because it came out to an even 0 and not below 0, the fact that they've still got a greater than normal success on you. So 6. Yeah, they got a major success. And for shooting attacks, that is a potential kill, I think.
Oh, no.
Well, it's what happened to, like, Everlast.
Yeah.
When she ran up on the reliquary.
Yeah.
That poor guy getting sucked into another dimension.
And he was never seen again.
Actually, I ran over my buddy's Dire Bear Adventuring Company one. I ran a little short Icons game. Set in a different world. Reliquary was still one of the villains and ended up getting sucked out into another dimension again. I forget which world he was in first before he wound up in the other one, but...
So was it the same reliquary, or was it a different version of the reliquary?
The same reliquary. He was trying to make his way back home, and it actually kind of tied into the story. Let's see. What was that? Oh, yes, I remember what I was looking at. Damn it. Let's see. All right, man. I've got a few things tabbed. I really need to go through and just tab every section of this book so I can find stuff quickly.
What are you looking for?
The kill effects.
Page 41.
41. All right, I was almost there.
It will be under killing. If you're looking for killing outcomes.
Yeah. Alright, so achieves a potential kill and inflicts 0 or more stamina damage. Test the full damage level against the attacker's strength. So you give me an attack roll, and I give you a d6 plus the damage. So you only need to beat a 5. I rolled minimum. Yeah, no problem. So the bullets hit, they sting, they don't really do anything.
Frostshine just stares down at Paradox.
He gets angry, he's stomping his feet. It'd be ridiculous if he wasn't throwing dinosaurs at people. You think you're so big? I'll show you big. And you see him gesture over to the side, and this huge light, basically like a portal, opens up. And the ground, hang on, and the ground shakes with what advances.
Oh!
As it rounds the corner, and it is its turn. Judging by the damage on the police car as it walks by, you think maybe he's already pulled this one out at some point. Let's see. So yeah, the T-Rex should be about your size, I think.
There is just a kid on a candy store smile on his face right now.
Servant Boy, of course, sees this. Presence, you see this huge... the portal doesn't register in your senses at all, of course.
But I
yeah,
see a big thing coming out of nowhere.
Right. And you kind of start detecting it kind of as it passes the edge of the portal. So it's like you see this spirit just sort of fill in. And then the roar vibrates the car. To everybody except Frost Giant, it's probably very startling because, I say roar. Truthfully, it probably sounds more like some kind of bird. It is probably less of your typical roar and more of like a very deep, almost eagle cry. If we wanted to be realistic, but this is a comics-based game, so big roar. You feel the vibrations deep inside. It's Patience, you hear the police officer, shift the car into reverse. He doesn't take off, but he's he may be ready in case that becomes advisable. So let's see. Oh, yes, there was the T-Rex's turn. So Paradox is now screaming at you. Is that big enough for you?
You're my new best friend, Paradox. I mean, I'm still probably gonna kick you, but you just made my day.
And it moves about halfway towards you. Or actually, let me check. Does it have running? Let's see. It's weird. They list running, but they don't give a rank for it, huh? On some of these guys. Oh well. I think this one I think the running was for the Carnosaur. So yes, you have a T-Rex advancing on you. Actually, he spends his full turn moving, so he gets right up on you. But that is his full action. Serpent Boy. There's a lot of dinosaurs, and they're all piling on Unk.
Yeah, so I think what I'd like to do is... Oh, boy. If it's possible, I'd like to actually... he's 25 feet tall. Would it be possible for me to kind of perch myself, pull myself up to Frost Giant's shoulder and just kind of like attack from there with my stretching ability?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I figured that might be... Yeah, I figured he'd probably want the cover since, he's not really... He's certainly not as enthusiastic about face-to-face combat the way way good old uncle is. But if he, from that vantage point, what he'd like to do is stretch his neck down and try to like basically breathe knockout gas on to the people. And I'm hoping that it only affects. I have the burst extra to my affliction ability, so hopefully, I'm it only affects people in close range. I'm hoping that since Frost Giant's at his height, that won't affect him as long as no nasty gusts of wind like blow the knockout.
So you basically hop up on his shoulder and you blow your breath kind of down.
Yeah, well, I actually stretched my neck down, so I'm like,
okay.
Basically, it's like I'm basically spitting in the faces.
So I'm fine with it not affecting Frost Giant. It will also not, however, it will also not affect the Tyrannosaurus since it's as tall as he is.
Yeah. I figure I'm leaving the T-Rex entirely to.
Yeah, so
Uncle.
It won't get the T-Rex. It won't get Frost Giant. It won't get the pterodactyls.
Sure.
The other four on the ground can all be affected by it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that then. Now this is affliction is it's a prowess attack, but I guess do I roll once or 4 times?
Being area effect, I would say just roll once.
All right.
And that'll give me the number that they all have to resist.
Oh, okay. Not a great number. We'll see what happens. Oh, and also afterwards I'll have to roll for burnout.
Okay. What do they have to roll? Is it strength?
I think it's.
I think
it's prowess. It's
Let me see.
It's the higher. It's yeah. I guess I'm rolling against their strength. No, first of all, I have to make a prowess test to touch a target, then an affliction test to see if it actually works.
Okay, but yours is a burst, so it's just kind of everything around you. So I don't think you have to make that roll.
Oh, okay.
Then it's affliction versus
their strength. So let me make that and roll because
regeneration.
that'll be a higher roll.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll just remake the roll, but I'll change the attribute to strength because that's what it works off of. So, or my the power ability, which is 6. Okay, here we go. That's a little better.
All right, so they got to beat a 10. Rolling for the Pachycephalosaurs first. Let's see. What is their strength? Alright, so a major success on both of them. Rolling for the raptor-looking guys. One of them pass. Both of them pass.
Okay.
Alright, so with a major success, what does affliction do? I assume major probably means they actually go down.
I think it's full. Yeah, I think it's actually full damage. And maybe a test. Let's see.
Affliction.
Moderate success or better. It does full damage, so it's 6 damage, ignoring damage resistance. Oh, and it's a continuous effect. Okay. So next panel we'll have to make another test. Neat.
Okay, but it does your rank in damage.
Yes, which is 6.
You refer to it as knockout. I'm assuming it's not like lethal damage or any kind of killing effects. It's just...
Yeah, once I hit 0, they just fall unconscious.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so what is theirs? Alright. So they are both still up, though they look woozy. They're very unstable on their feet.
I should roll for the knockout.
Yeah, and burnout is what, a D? Is it just a D6?
I think it's 1 or 2. And yep, sure enough, that's all I got. My throat is parched and dry now.
You go.
Exactly.
Now you need a lozenge.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Patience. You are sitting in the car. You see all these, spirits clustering around Frost Giant.
Yeah, they're all punching the big guy, so gonna go ahead and do a good old-fashioned ability that I way overstacked the extras on, and throw a force field on him.
All right, who you throwing the force
he's
shield
gonna
on?
Frost Giant.
And how many ranks is that?
So for the next 4 rounds, he'll have an additional 4 points damage reduction.
I'm not sure those powers stack like that. Generally, what rank is the force shield?
4.
All right. Usually, what happens when powers stack in this game is you take the highest power plus 1 rank. Since each rank is basically doubling.
Yeah.
2 4s would really only make the 5 or whatever. It's a feature he borrowed in design. This is a feature he borrowed from the old DC game that used an exponential system.
Then quick question, Frost Giant, how much HP are you missing?
None. I am at full health.
Yeah, nothing's
then
actually damaged him yet.
Then I'll just go ahead and stack the force field on him for the
Okay.
extra point.
So
And
he now
that
has a
will last
damage
for-
of 5, which means the machine guns can't possibly hurt him now.
But
So
that will last for 4 rounds, and then I'll have to reapply it.
Okay. So he is taking you from bullet resistant to bulletproof, or she has, rather. Now, is the force shield something they would notice? Is it like a glowing effect?
Yeah, it's got a bit of a glow to it.
Okay. So your uncle starts glowing a little bit. Like he's about to go Super Saiyan. Alright. Let's see, Officer Daniels creeps the car back a little bit. He is, he's not running, it's just kind of, well, them giants are awful close. We're just going to, back her up. And then we are back at the top of the order. Frost Giant.
This is a whole lot of monsters. I'm gonna burn a determination point, tapping ancient blood in my veins to make my ice breath an AoE effect. Just trying to get everything right in here.
Oh, you got
Common.
a weapon too.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, you take kind of a step back, or you lean back, and then kind of, turn your head in an arc so you catch. I'm gonna say you catch everything except the pterodactyls, just because they're not hovering there. They're doing flybys.
Yeah.
I'm just too lazy to move the miniatures every time. All
That'd
right.
be really tedious.
All right. Let's see. Though if you could use gifts on this, you get a gift that's transparent that just has the pterodactyls swooping through every now and then. I'll have to suggest that as a feature. All right, so they've got a beat of 10. I assume that they use their
coordination.
yeah, because this is just a damaging effect. All right. And their coordinations are the same. His is 1 lower. All right. So starting off with the Packies. Both of them take the damage and go down. The let's see here. All right, so both of these guys go down. Yeah, they're still breathing. You didn't do a lethal amount of damage to them, but that plus the knockout gas already having them woozy. It was more than they could take. And you said the ice breath was what rank?
5.
Okay. And, ice forms up on these two guys down here. And then let me roll for the big boy. Alright, so he also takes the damage. He may actually have armor, though. Let me check. Nope, just a big old pile of stamina. Well, a respectable pile of stamina. You hear Paradox ranting. Do all of you mythological monsters have bad breath?
Phew!
Let's see. There's the Packy's turn, and they're out. There's the Raptor thingy's turns. And they sort of circle around you. And one of them is going to try to put a condition on you. So give me a. You may use your prowess or your willpower if you want to resist this. They will be using their prowess to try to put it on you, though.
I think I'll go with prowess.
Okay. Frost Giant's not a willpower-based character?
It's slightly higher. By like 1 point.
Alright, so they beat you by 1. Or, no, you beat them by 1, excuse me. I was reading that in reverse order. So, he was clearly trying to distract you. But you managed to kind of put yourself in a position where you can keep an eye on him without taking your attention off of everybody else. So he failed. And the other one just attacks you. Which is also a prowess. As he runs up and kind of tries to slash at basically like your Achilles tendon.
Yep, I'd say that one hits.
Oh yeah, that one hits quite well. However, with your... Let's see. That's a major... But yeah, with your now slightly increased armor, it does negative 1 points of damage to you, so... Even having gotten a major, he can't roll the for the kill result or anything.
Nice.
Exactly like babysitting chihuahuas.
So, it slices through your pants leg, or maybe into your boot if you're wearing a boot, but... And at that moment is when you realize these things are probably beneath your notice. The pterodactyls come swooping back through. They open fire. One is just shooting at Frost Giant. The other one, whether intentionally or not, may be going to hit Serpentboy. Just because he's perched there. Let's see, pterodactyls have it needs to be coordination based. So the first one's shooting at Frost Giant. Beat a 7. Not a problem. And then Serpent Boy, you need to beat an 8.
Nope.
You take 4 points of damage.
Okay.
So Frost Giant, you're right there. You dodge out of the way, and then right in your ear, you hear Norman scream, "Ah!"
You all right, my boy? Anything vital?
No. All right. I'm all right. Kind of.
It's just a flesh
They,
wound.
they have guns.
And then you realize it is completely rigged your crits happen shirt.
Oh, man.
And then it is the T-Rex's turn. He is going after Frost Giant. He's roaring a challenge at you, and then tries to clamp down on your shoulder. I'm going to give a die roll. On an even roll is the shoulder that Serpent Boy is standing on. So the attack will potentially affect both of you. On an odd roll is the other shoulder, and only Frost Giant has to make the check. Even. All right, so this could potentially affect you both. So Tyrannosaurus has a prowess of... Oh, of all the ones to make a roll of 1 on. Alright, so the number to beat is a 6. Alright, Frost Giant, you get out of the way, no problem. Alright. So, as these huge jaws come snapping down on you, Frost Giant, you manage to just, you jerk back out of the way. Serpent Boy, just using his stretching, just kind of goes flat on your shoulder. So there's like no extra height to potentially get grasped. And the jaws snap shut. Almost right in your face, Serpent Boy. You just kind of see you feel its hot breath, on you. It is far closer than you ever wanted to be to a Tyrannosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's probably would lie. As a child, you probably wanted to see one.
Right.
And then it is your turn.
All right, so we've still got those 2 flying pterodactyls with the miniguns. So I'm wondering if I could try to. This is nutty, but let's try this. Would it be possible for me to try to latch onto one of them and maybe try to piggyback on it with my stretching abilities? I'm hoping I could maybe try to steer it to firing the other pterodactyl.
Yeah, that seems reasonable enough. It'll be
Could that be wrestling? Okay.
Yeah, basically wrestling to get a hold of it.
All right, let's see what happens here. And stretch.
Let's see, and its prowess is...
Oh, wow.
You got a major success, so you are now perched on its back with your arms wrapped around it any which way you want.
Sweet.
I want to say you basically have it pretty much in a full hold, effectively. Now, in this case, you're not hindering its movement, because that would be bad. But we'll say that basically gives you control where you can kind of pull... You have to make rolls to really steer it well.
Sure.
But you've definitely got, basic control of it.
Okay. I'm sure he's screaming at the top of his lungs the whole time.
Oh yeah, it's turning its head and looking at you, but their necks aren't flexible enough for it to like turn around and bite at you. And Patience.
So I've Serpent Boy needs some help.
He has been hurt again.
A quick mental chat with Serpent Boy if he allows it. He feels the same kind of reach into his mind as the last time Patience spoke with him.
Yeah,
Sure.
You'd recognize the touch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's not resisting. What did she do?
Yeah.
How
A
bad?
little busy, but I'm okay for now.
Okay then, I'm going to support you.
Okay.
And he gets the same aura around him,
Oh.
the force field,
Okay.
and he will have that for the next 4 turns.
Thank you.
So he has no damage reduction naturally. So yeah, it's
a big bump for him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice that you start to glow, kind of like frost giants glowing.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the force field around Frostgiant would not have impeded my ability to latch onto the pterodactyl.
No. It is purely protective in nature. And Frost Giant, you're up.
Frost Giant's gonna throw a 1-2 punch into the T-Rex's face.
Okay. Like the beginning of Mike Tyson Mysteries. What? That's part of the intro. You see Mike Tyson punching a T-Rex.
I'm not sure that I've actually heard of that.
Oh, it's an Adult Swim show.
Ah, okay.
It's a spoof of the old Scooby-Doo style cartoons. Well,
right.
It spoofs Scooby-Doo, that style, and like the old celebrity cartoons, like the Mr. T cartoon, or
Sure.
the Muhammad Ali had one. I think Muhammad Ali, you see in the intro, you see him punch an alligator.
Huh.
Mr. T, I want to say you saw him throw an alligator in his opening. So in Mike Tyson, he's punching a T-Rex.
I just remember that Mr. T hung out with like a teenage gymnastics team, which I thought was really random.
It kind of was. I think it was just an excuse to have a team that moved around with it.
Right.
But yeah, it's him. It's Norm Macdonald as the voice of a man that's been turned into a pigeon by his ex-wife. So that's the pet sidekick. You've got the ghost of the Marquis of Queensberry. You got his ghost, so it's kind of like the Funky Phantom. And then you've got like the adopted Asian daughter that is just the kind of random stuff. But she's the Velma Brains of the operation kind of thing. The first season is really funny, and then it went kind of down. It's like they had the one joke and just kind of. I haven't watched any of them since then. But digression. All right. Let's see. That's right. You have made your punch, so he has to resist your punch with his fairly decent prowess. It's a T-Rex. It knows how to fight.
Woo!
And now we know why it went extinct. Can't dodge
And
a
that
punch.
punch does-
Can't dodge a meteor.
And I do 8 damage with that punch.
And that is a massive success. Alright, so that is... Alright, so that's 8 damage. It has... Oh, that's right. It does not have any armor at all. And you had already done some to it. Alright, so it had 11. Somebody had already done 5 to it.
Also me.
So yeah. You clock it the one time and it starts to wobble, then you come down and you hit it with the other one, you know, the whole left right. And yeah, it just crumbles to the ground.
Wow.
Patience, you see the spirit drop, you know, the spirit of this thing drop, and then when it hits the ground, the whole car kind of shakes. Paradox goes silent. He just sit there, mouth agape. And then just kind of all at once, he snaps out of it. Well, been very interesting meeting you. I must be going. And he starts trucking it off to the side.
Can I still advance towards him?
Yep, you can take your movement, which will get you, about here. He's calling back over his shoulder. Stay there, stay there. I don't want to hurt you.
No, I think me and you need to have a little chat.
Don't come any closer, I'm warning you.
I just punched a T-Rex in the face. What are you gonna do to me?
And he turns around and he snaps his fingers at you.
Uh-oh.
Directly in front of your face, maybe 10 feet from your face. Proper height, but 10 feet back. A far smaller portal than what the T-Rex came through opens up, and a blur of light flies through. Give me a coordination to try to dodge this.
I am rolling stupid well today.
Rock 'em. So this like gold and blue blur zips just past your head. You just manage to get your head. You feel it, whatever it is, you feel it kind of brush your bushy hair. And just a little over this ways, you see a man in blue and gold. Cape flowing behind him, stop and start looking around with a very confused expression on his face.
Did you just try to shoot me with the Primus?
As you say that, you turn back around. You no longer see Paradox anywhere. But you think you may hear a manhole cover going tink.
Detection.
Yeah, he's probably down in the sewer.
He's in the sewer.
Alright, did I have a picture of the Primus handy? That's maybe it's an actual hand.
I know you have a token of him.
Yeah, I was thinking I had an actual. Let's see.
He's not on the list of NPCs I've seen. Which is strange, because I know you've talked to him.
Oh well. I had to clear out some space for maps and stuff, so I might have taken him down by accident. But yes, everybody, all of you, with the exception of Patience, recognizes the Primus. Except he's way younger looking than he ought to, and it's an older version of his costume.
Huh.
He turns around and he looks at you. Where am I? How did you bring me here?
Are you familiar with a guy named Professor Paradox?
No.
Alright, well, apparently he's the greatest supervillain of the 1970s, and he tried to JFK me using a time portal and you. By the way,
It's 1958. Who is
Okay,
JFK?
well, spoiler alert for a future president. You should probably be in Dallas whenever a guy named JFK, John F. Kennedy, is doing like a tour through Dallas.
Well,
Oh boy,
Oh.
does it make a mess.
Serpentboy probably doesn't overhear his uncle breaking the rules of time travel paradox because he's still riding that pterodactyl.
The Primus kind of looks around. Are those dinosaurs?
Yeah, he tried to kill us using dinosaurs. I punched a T-Rex.
Moderately impressive. How do I get... Wait. He turns around and he looks. And you see that portal he came through is starting to get smaller.
Yeah, you should probably go. And remember...
Yes, Dallas. Gotcha.
Dallas, November 22nd, 1963.
I'll write it down when I get home. Have you got this handled? And he's kind of looking around. But...
I mean, yeah. Yeah, we got it handled.
What's your name?
Frost Giant.
yeah,
Friends call me Marnie. Yeah.
Well, he gives you kind of a... See, would he give you a wave or a salute? He gives you a little salute. He's like, I'll have to look you up when I get to whenever this is, and he gives you the little salute and zips back through the...
What does Patience see of him?
The Primus?
Yes.
He is very bright.
I don't
let's
see
see.
anything bad or too bad or too dangerous.
What would be the primary emotional state of like a Golden Age Superman in the Golden Age? Or beginning of the Silver Age. Kind of bright, hopeful.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah.
You definitely see him as a very, very good person.
Okay.
Lively, full of energy. When you first meet like a new foster family, a lot of times they'd look maybe not quite this bright, but it'd be the same emotion dominating,
The same
I want to
color,
help.
just
Yeah.
turned up to 11.
Yeah. That you've kind of come to associate as, oh, they want to help. Well, that won't last. But yes, he tried to shoot you with, not Superman. Presence, are you watching Dr. Or Professor Paradox?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep a detection on him.
You see him running along in the sewer for a little while. He stops, he turns around, you think maybe he's making sure he wasn't being followed. And then he turns around and starts walking forward slowly, and it's like his face starts to become flat. And you realize it's kind of the reverse of how you saw the T-Rex step out of a portal. And then he is gone. Now, while all of that was going on, what is Serpent Boy doing on the pterodactyl?
He's going to try to wrestle the pterodactyl into. Now, here's a question: Are the pterodactyl? Can I tell whether the pterodactyls are actually arming or actually firing the weapons themselves, or are the guns automated?
They seem to be attached. They're worked into the flesh of the things. Kind of like a cybernetic something.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try to see if I can wrestle the 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 pterodactyl into towards the other pterodactyl, and either the weapons will they'll turn the weapons on each other. I don't know, maybe I can get them to collide or something, and then jump out at the last second.
You could try.
Sure.
It's a very superhero-y thing to try. It would be... I'm going to say coordination. I'm going to give you a -2 as you're having to, struggle to control the thing to some degree.
Yeah. So let me do that manually then.
Versus the other pterodactyl coordination. So they definitely brush against each other and kind of bump, but it's not enough to actually knock either one of them out of the air.
Okay.
You do notice that neither one of them fire their guns at the other, though.
Gotcha.
Let's see here. We'll go ahead and just kind of narrate the end of this.
Sure.
Just because you've both got those, you've both got shields on you, so they're going to be very unlikely to be able to damage you. With the big boy down, particularly. So, what is your overall tactic for taking out the pterodactyl, Serpentboy?
What I might try to do is, if I could stretch to kind of grapple the other one, could I somehow force them to fly into each other? Basically, it's almost like I'm just basically smashing them together using my body. That would be the general thing I'd try to do next.
So what I'm seeing is you're on one of them, the other one kind of flies down close by. You lash out and get it kind of around the neck and shoulders, and it tries to fly off. You kind of rubber band them together.
Yeah.
And then you stretch over, you basically stretch one leg over to a rooftop and step there as they crash down.
Cool.
You had gotten them low enough to the ground that the crash does not kill them. But one of them is unconscious and the other one is sitting there wobbly and stunned enough that, it's no problem for Frostgiant or somebody to get over to it and secure it.
Cool.
Let's see. Both raptors or... Oh, that's right. Shucks. None of you ever actually referred to them as raptors where Paradox could hear. Because he was going to go on a rant about what they actually are. Because, the raptors in Jurassic Park were actually based off of a different dinosaur. They just thought Velociraptor sounded cooler.
Deinonychus.
Then, I think Deinonychus was the name of the one they're actually designed after.
Oh, yeah, I remember those guys.
Yeah. And, Deinonychus were basically a type of raptor as far as in the overall family. But, but they looked neater and were the right size, but Velociraptor, they thought, had a neater name. And, it was a Jurassic Park. They weren't that worried about accuracy. But what I like about it, though, is they address it in the movie. Not being worried about accuracy is part of the storyline. We made them to look like people expect them to look. Because, it's a theme park. Anyway.
Right.
Digressing. Alright, so you relatively quickly managed to subdue the rest of the animals. More police show up. It turns out there was a police officer in the burning vehicle.
Ooh.
You hear him calling for help. Well, it's just a little engine section that's on fire. There's a little bit of fire on the engine section. Basically, he had managed to throw himself into the, crouch down, on the floorboards. So when the top part got crushed down, he's pinned in there pretty good. but he's just in there calling for help. Frost Giant would have no trouble peeling the top of the car off and getting him out. And there's cuts and scrapes from the broken glass. He's not uninjured, but so police officers and media show up. Some very bewildered and stressed out looking animal control agents show up. They bring several vehicles, and they can get the
Deinonychus.
The two Deinonychus they managed to load up pretty well. They're basically sending off for like a flatbed truck or a tow truck or something to load the Cephies up on. Cephalodons, whatever they're called. The dome-headed ones. And one guy has taken his hat off and is just rubbing his head, and the other guy is gesturing to the cops, or gesturing towards the T-Rex, and asking the cops, what are we supposed to do with that?
I mean, if you want, I can carry it for you, but I don't know where you're going to put him.
And the cops start talking in there. And eventually, what they do for a temporary basis is they have you haul the thing out to an abandoned quarry. Something that it can't climb out of, and with your help, they manage to kind of barricade one end so it can't just walk out. As the government tries to figure out, what we're going to do with the T-Rex. Plenty of zoos are like, we'll take it, but we have to have time to build a facility for it. In the news the next couple of days, first off, you quickly notice all the police just seem to assume that Patience is with you. You've got witnesses of her walking up and like healing the officer you get out of the car. So they just they don't call you a superhero team or anything. It's just like they assume you're a family of freaks. Oh, it's like a family of superpowered people. Oh, okay, thanks for your help. And you've known that this town has never had a whole lot of super activity, so it's got kind of a laid back. Back in the days where every city or county government kind of decided itself how to handle it, this place kind of had a laid back attitude. Wasn't a lot of rules on the books one way or the other. If you don't try to avoid them, the press is taking pictures of you and interviewing you.
Frost Giant is absolutely doing poses for them. Just reveling in the attention.
And they're paying a lot more attention to you. They talk to Serpentboy a little bit. But if he is timid on camera or kind of shy or...
Which he is.
Yeah. So, they talk to him a little bit, and then they go talk to the guy that's, got more presence on the camera. Just because that'll make better copy. Or
sure.
Copy would be, I guess, in print, but... And he's a big blue dude that's not in and of itself scary. Snake eye, the kid with snake eyes is, a little freaky. But, so, you ask about who you are, this, that, and the other. If you've been living in this town for a while, you're a big blue dude, you're kind of known. So there's lots of rigmarole about the dinosaurs. But before they can really get anything sorted out about the T-Rex, and they literally bring in the National Guard to guard the quarry because they're having such a hard time keeping people away. Nobody's really trying to get into the quarry, but everybody's wanting to get up on the edge and see in.
Because it's a T-Rex, and it's awesome.
Yes. And you have, animals' rights people want to know how they're planning to feed it, and, this, that, and the other. But all that comes to an end a few days later. It's literally in the middle of the night, the thing is just gone.
The T-Rex?
Oh.
Yes. But so are the other creatures that were, the animal control had, caged up. Because, sure enough, for the raptor guys, yeah, a cage that would hold a bear would hold one of them. The dome-headed things are a little bigger and would be harder. But once they wake up, they don't seem to be particularly aggressive anymore. They do scans on the smaller ones, and there are essentially, for a computer chip, it's kind of large, but there's something kind of grafted to the base of their skulls. Clearly giving the doctor, the professor, some sort of control over them, or that's the theory. Where the pterodactyls, yeah, they've got gun implants and targeting computer kind of stuff, and they remove the actual guns themselves without too much issue, but the rest of the implants they're not even going to try. But like I said, 2 days later, in the middle of the night, all those creatures disappear. The press questions whether or not they, went back to their own time period in a natural fashion, or if Professor Paradox simply stole them back, and they may come out and be a plague to the city again. In this time, you also see things on the news about Professor Paradox. He was a pretty active villain in the 70s through the mid-80s. This is not the first time he's used dinosaurs, though earlier in his career he tended to use mammoths and saber-toothed cats, and he'd have cavemen or Neanderthal flunkies. The longer he's been a villain, it's like the further back he goes to get stuff. They have no idea why he was ranting about flying cars and jetpacks. Apparently he was always a ranter and a rambler. Especially given the fact that the cybernetics he's using were, they're as advanced as anything, still applied technologies or any of your other super tech companies can put out modern day. How did he not already know we didn't have flying cars? And, you've got psychiatrists trying to, analyze him, on talk shows and stuff. So, after a week or so, the buzz dies down to some degree. Patience, do you go home with, or really, I guess I can address this to all y'all. Do the two of you take Patience home with you?
Seeing as how Marnood's the one who pays rent, he's more than happy to have her stick around as long as she's comfortable.
Okay. Then you have found a new meal ticket.
If you get shot or need help, I'm here.
And for that couple of weeks, you don't notice their colors changing. They seem to be pretty chill about you. They don't seem to get weirded out. Of course, it's only been a couple of weeks. You've made a week or two before, so it's a little after 4, even though we got a late start. So we will go ahead and wrap here. So the next time we come to these characters, story-wise, it'd probably make sense for not for them to be a team per se, but the next time we do something with these characters, it'll probably be most of them together. Though to be fair, I guess they could just be something could happen and just a random one of them in this city show up. Anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, this was just a little one-off. You know, we were a man short, so we weren't going to go with one of the established teams. And this was a way for us to introduce a few more of the characters that we had not gotten any screen time yet. So anybody watching at home later, hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed running it. I hope my players had fun. Abusing poor extinct animals. What did dinosaur do to you? But so again, I was the GM for the day, Jason, and we had Mike playing Serpentboy, Zach playing Frost Giant, and Taylor playing Patience. And we will see y'all 2 weeks from now when I have no idea which heroes will be using at that time. That'll be a discussion for the interim.
All right.
So hope you had fun. I'll see y'all next time.
Y'all take care.